Now, Councillor Cook, you've already had your 7 minutes to second the Green Group amendment. So we'll move on to Councillor Karubia, who now has up to 7 minutes to second the Liberal Democrat Group amendments.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Where do you go from all that? Okay, well, in what's been undoubtedly a truly horrendous year, the likes of which I've not seen in my lifetime, I wish to add my sincere thanks and admiration to all those that have stepped up and behaved so valiantly in this fight against a terrible disease. The blue light services, the NHS, teachers, school staff, carers, residents, and not only our core of brilliant, fantastic volunteers, but also our own council staff and officers who instantly adapted to new roles, new ways of working without question, and who have and still are making Herculean efforts to combat this deadly virus that is continuing to take lives, affecting every single person and family in one form or another. So, not long before COVID struck, Council embarked on a different way of governing, which has been mentioned many times. So we moved into a more collaborative, open and transparent committee-based system, which I believe has helped tremendously in enabling this council to deal with these drastic and often traumatic events. The political parties have set aside many of their rivalries, working together to get our communities through this past year, and it's in that spirit that the Liberal Democrats fully engaged in this budget process. So it troubles me somewhat to find that at this time, when we need to be pulling together, working to get Wirral on a firm footing and on a solid path to recovery, that there are still some who are falling into their old ways of political point scoring, playing to the gallery with speeches, and offering proposals that in theory and on paper may look achievable, but in practice could be highly detrimental to this council and our Wirral residents going forward. It would also be of great benefit to the budget setting process in the future if the flow of information did not stand or simply fall on the right questions being asked of the right people at the right time. Now, over the next few months, we'll begin our recovery and we'll start to rebuild our lives and our economy. And there is little doubt there is going to be some tough and unpalatable decisions ahead for this council and our residents. Now, there are on-street things that can be plainly seen by all, but then there are many more things hidden from view, such as rising domestic violence, children's care packages, escalating mental health issues, which has hit adults, youth, and young children in alarmingly increasing measures, Mr. Mayor. But continuing to collaborate and work with organisations from all parts of Wirral, we can help undo this additional damage brought about by this horrible virus. Young people have been hit particularly hard. Months cut off from socialising with friends and having contact with peer groups has led to widespread reports of significant impact, both on mental health and on their emotional well-being. So as a spokesperson on the Children's Committee, I do welcome the much needed funding to the wider youth services and the possibility of the reopening of the Europa fund pool at the earliest opportunity, which we have set out in our amendments. This year, much importance has been placed on achieving a budget that reflects our current standing and in giving the council the tools to combat the most pressing issues, enabling us to positively move forward. It is therefore frustrating, to say the least, that despite promises from government, that their offerings simply have not met all our COVID-related costs, which have been considerable. It's also leaving so many families struggling to make ends meet, especially difficult for the many self-employed, those in the tourist trades and the gig economy. The council tax rise, initiating from London, coming with such rules attached that give us little room to manoeuvre, is particularly disappointing. Even combined with a substantial loan from government, this budget cannot meet every need, and so proposed changes must be thoroughly examined and scrutinised, and by seeking where possible the opinions and approval from all our residents along every step of the way. But this budget also needs to satisfy M8CLG that we are serious and committed in our endeavours. So we need to engage in this process realistically and with vigilance, and therefore simply cannot go full steam ahead, throwing caution to the wind if we want to reach our destinations intact. And more importantly, under our own steam, because I, for one, simply do not believe, Mr. Mayor, that it will be a calm sea and plain sailing from the Prime Minister's proposed date of the 21st of June. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kirby.